The Ferrari SF24 has been released and it makes me feel just a little bit sad. But I will come back to that in just a moment. First of all, let's talk about the livery. I actually really like this car's livery. The red obviously is synonymous with Ferrari and they have gone for as little bare carbon as they can get away with. In fact, they've even put it in a nice little tucked away spot on top of the side pods and obviously at the underside of the skirts. We're used to that in Formula 1 cars, but they've definitely gone to the greater lengths to hide that bare carbon fibre, unlike they did last year when they had a big cutout of carbon fibre on the side pod. The car itself is very different and we see the brilliant little white and yellow lines on the racing car, which obviously relates back to what they've done with the race suits as well. Looks very, very tidy, very smart, and yes, a very nice all-round package. Well done Ferrari for coming up with something and trying to reinvent yourself like you do every year. It must be very hard when you have a red car to produce for each season. And obviously with Ferrari they could go overboard. Now I don't think this is the best Ferrari I've ever seen. I actually really like the 2022 wine red colour Ferrari with the big side pods, and that's what makes me feel a little bit sad about this year's Ferrari. You see, now we have a clear path about what is actually fast in these regulations. Innovation for the cars has been abandoned to converge on the one concept which is definitely producing results. That concept clearly, the Red Bull concept. But it means that Ferrari, with their unique approach to these regulations, have abandoned that to go for this more conventional concept, which I kind of feel is a little bit sad. When you look at the car, it looks quite similar to absolutely everything else that's been released, and I imagine we can expect the same when Mercedes launch their car tomorrow. But doesn't it make you just feel a little sad, a little down, knowing that what they come up with didn't work, and sadly now we're at the point where all of the cars look the same, and that includes this car. Obviously there are innovations and they have their own spin on things, but looking at this car it just makes me feel a little bit down, because I really liked the way they were going with those big wide side pods, very bulky, very flat, and then obviously the scalloped out almost swimming pools on top of the side pods. But you know, it wasn't the fastest and Red Bull's car won out, and that's obviously why everyone's converging. Now we need to put the Ferrari into the ranking we have going for this season, and you know what? It's a Ferrari, it's red. They haven't been radical. There's some subtle new designs, and I like the yellow and white stripes. I like the look of the car. It could be a slightly different shade of red, but on the whole, they haven't ruined their car by trying to do something garish and completely terrible. So I'm going to put Ferrari in first. They have the top spot. They've won something this season. I'm sure many Ferrari fans will be happy about that. And to be fair, we know, because we've already seen on-track pictures of the shakedown of the Red Bull, that they have exactly the same livery as from last season, unless obviously they're hiding something, but I don't think they will with their livery because they never really change it, so they're not going to get top spot. And Mercedes could go to silver, but most probably will still be weight saving and will stick with bare carbon. So they're not going to get the top spot either, because there's no effort involved in stripping the carbon off of the car. So there we go. Ferrari have taken the top spot, and now it's really just where Red Bull and Mercedes come with who gets 7th and who gets 8th. Can you believe it? So there we go. What do you think of the Ferrari SF24? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below.